Whoa, whoa. Why are you running? What is happening? Are you okay?
I'm late. I am so, so late. I can't believe it. I haven't brushed my teeth. There's no coffee. I think I missed the whole thing.
Late. Late for what exactly?
Late.
We haven't even plugged in the microphones yet.
For this, for the recording, the listeners are probably wondering where we are. Look at the time. It's 8:00 p.m. I slept through the entire day.
Okay. Just take a deep breath. Look at your watch again, slowly.
I am looking. It says 8 over. Wait.
And maybe, look out the window. See that big bright thing in the sky? That's the sun. It's 8:00 a.m. We are 4 hours early.
Oh my gosh. The panic, the absolute terror of misreading AM PM. I woke up thinking I was already a failure for the day. My heart is still pounding.
You definitely need some water and maybe a nap. But you know what? This whole pre-dawn panic attack is actually, it's perfect. It's the perfect way to start what we're talking about today.
How is my complete inability to tell time perfect for anything?
Because today's deep dive is all about daily life. It's about alarms, routines, waking up, and all the specific words and, structures we use to talk about that panic, that routine.
Ah, I see. So my daily life just happens to start with a frantic sprint and total confusion. But yeah, you're right. It's so important. When you meet someone, one of the first things you talk about is your routine.
Exactly. And if you don't have the right language, the conversation just falls flat. So we're here to give you the idioms, the phrasal verbs, everything you need to answer that universal question. So what do you do every day?
That is the mission.
Right. Now, before we properly kickstart our day, and before you collapse from shock over here, we just need you, our listener, to do one tiny thing to help us wake up the algorithm.
Yes. Wake up your English skills and hit that like button. Like the espresso shot for our platform. It just gets everything moving.
It really does. And if you want to make sure you are never late for a lesson, unlike some people I know, hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Make us a regular part of your routine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Friends Chat. We are the hosts, Emma and Ryan.
We are so glad to have you with us, ready to get into the language of daily life. It sounds simple, but describing your habits in a natural way takes a lot more than just basic verbs.
Totally. It's what separates functional English from, fluent, natural-sounding English. So let's get into it, starting with the very first part of the day, the morning routine.
Right. And the morning isn't just a time of day, is it? It's kind of an identity.
It really is, which is why English has these two really clear archetypes we use all the time. You've got the early bird versus the night owl.
Yeah, and this is such a useful conversational shortcut. If you just say, oh, I'm an early bird, people immediately get a picture of you. You're energetic in the morning. You probably love waking up early.
The phrase itself comes from that old proverb, right? The early bird catches the worm.
Exactly. It implies that you're productive, you're disciplined, you get things done before anyone else is even awake.
And then you have the other side of the coin, my people, the night owls.
Ah, yes, the ones who hate the morning. A night owl is someone who, loves staying up late. Their brain doesn't really start working properly until, 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. on a good day. It's that feeling that your best, most creative work happens when the rest of the world has gone to sleep.
It's so useful, though. Instead of a long explanation, you just say, sorry, I'm not a morning person. I'm a total night owl, and everyone understands.
Exactly. But whether you're a bird or an owl, the day starts with that one sound, the alarm clock.
And there's a very specific way we talk about it. We don't say the alarm rings.
No, that sounds a bit formal or old-fashioned. The phrase you have to know is the alarm goes off.
Right, goes off. It implies a sudden start like a firework or something. Beep, beep, beep. It's the sound that triggers the rest of the day.
And for a night owl, it triggers the most important button in the entire house.
The snooze button.
The sacred snooze button. It's not just a button. It's like a tiny little negotiation you have with the universe. Just 5 more minutes.
It's so true. And everyone knows that feeling of hitting snooze. It's this little bit of stolen sleep, even if it's not very good quality sleep.
No, it's terrible sleep. You're not really sleeping. You're just sort of delaying the inevitable. You're doing math in your head. Okay, if I hit it 2 more times, I'll have exactly 4 minutes to get ready.
It's a dangerous game. And it leads us perfectly into a really common point of confusion for English learners.
Ah, yes. The big one. Wake up versus get up.
They're not the same thing. And using them correctly is a huge step towards sounding more natural.
Totally. So wake up is just the mental part. It's when your eyes open and your brain switches on, you're conscious, the alarm goes off, and you wake up.
Right. You could wake up at 7 a.m., but then lie in bed for another half hour just thinking or scrolling on your phone. You're awake, but you haven't gotten up.
Exactly. Get up is the physical action. It's when you actually move your body out of the bed and stand on your feet.
So an early bird might wake up at 6 and get up at 6:01.
While a night owl might wake up at 7 point, hit snooze 3 times, and not actually get up until 7:30.
That gap between waking up and getting up is where the whole morning can go right or wrong.
Absolutely. So, okay, you've finally gotten up, but your body is still, half asleep. You need something to get you going.
You need to kickstart your day.
I love that phrase. It's got such a great image behind it, like starting an old motorcycle. You need that forceful kick to get the engine running.
And for your routine, it's that thing you do to get your energy going, to start functioning like a human being.
For me, it's pure chemistry. A huge, massive cup of coffee. That's my kickstart. Without it, the engine does not turn over.
See, I'm different. I kickstart my day with a big glass of cold water and a few minutes of stretching. It's more of a physical push to get things moving.
Ah, the healthier approach. Well, once you're kickstarted, you move into the next phase, which we can summarize with one really useful phrase.
Get ready.
Yes. This is such a great linguistic shortcut. Instead of listing everything you do, like I take a shower, then I brush my teeth, then I get dressed, then I do my hair, it's so boring and clunky.
Right. You just group it all together. I need about 30 minutes to get ready in the morning. And everyone knows what you mean. It's the whole process of making yourself presentable for the outside world.
So just to recap this first part, you're an early bird or a night owl. Your alarm goes off, you wake up, and then eventually you get up, you kickstart your system, and then you get ready.
That's the whole morning sequence, right?
And once we're ready, we have to leave the house and go somewhere.
Which brings us to our next section, the commute and the daily grind.
The commute, spelled C-O-M-M-U-T-E. It's such a defining word of modern life, isn't it?
It really is. It's not just any journey. It's that specific, repetitive trip from home to work or school and then back again.
And the length of your commute can completely define your quality of life. Some people have a 10-minute walk.
And some people have an hour-and-a-half drive each way, which means a huge part of their vocabulary is about one thing. Oh, the traffic. The key phrase here, if you're driving, is getting stuck in traffic.
It's a great phrase because it captures that feeling of being trapped. You're not moving. You can't go forward. You can't go back. You're just stuck.
And you're usually stuck in traffic during the most ironically named time of day.
Rush hour.
Right. It sounds like it should be fast, but it's the absolute slowest part of the day. It's when everyone is trying to rush, so nobody can move at all.
The name itself kind of reflects that tension of modern life, doesn't it? The desire to go fast and the reality of being stuck.
Totally. But of course, driving isn't the only option. Some people avoid that stress by taking public transport.
Right. The bus, the subway, the train, and that changes the whole experience of the commute. You can read a book, you can listen to a great show like this one.
You can just zone out.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for the driving, so that travel time becomes your time again.
But once that commute is over, you arrive at your destination and you begin what we call the daily grind.
Oof, that phrase. It's so evocative. To grind something is to crush it into powder, like coffee beans.
Exactly. So the daily grind is all the repetitive, routine, maybe slightly boring parts of your job. The emails, the paperwork, the meetings about meetings.
And the feeling behind it is almost always a bit negative, right? You wouldn't call the exciting, creative part of your job the daily grind.
No, never. It's what you say when you get back from a vacation. Well, back to the daily grind. It's like a necessary burden.
And that standard type of work is often described with another bit of cultural shorthand.
A 9-to-5 job.
This one is so interesting because for so many people, the hours aren't actually 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. anymore.
Not at all. People work 8 to 4 or they work remotely with flexible hours. But we still use 9 to 5 to mean a standard full-time Monday to Friday kind of job.
It's a symbol of a traditional work structure, more than a literal timetable.
Right. And in the middle of that 9 to 5, you have a crucial decision to make. Lunch.
And the language we use here says a lot about your habits. The two main options are to pack a lunch or to eat out.
To pack a lunch implies that you're prepared. You made food at home and brought it with you. It suggests you're, disciplined, maybe trying to save money or eat healthy.
It takes effort, though. It's another thing to do in the morning when you're trying to get ready.
It is, which is why so many of us choose the other path. To eat out. You go to a restaurant, a cafe, you grab something quick. It's all about convenience.
It's that classic trade-off, isn't it? Time versus money. Do you spend time in the morning to save money? Or do you spend money during the day to save time?
the eternal question of the daily grind.
So we've talked about the sequence of the day, but a routine isn't just a sequence. It's about repetition, which brings us to a really important grammar point.
Yes, we need to talk about how often these things happen. We need the frequency adverbs.
Without these words, you can't really talk about habits at all. You can only say what happened one time.
Exactly. So let's think of these words on a scale from 100% down to 0%. At the very top, 100%, you have always.
I always brush my teeth before bed. It means every single time without fail.
Right. Then just below that, maybe in the 80 to 90% range, you have usually or normally.
I usually take the bus to work. This means it's your standard practice, but maybe once in a while you drive or take a taxi. There's a little room for exceptions.
Now, right in the middle, around 50%, you have sometime.
I sometimes pack a lunch.
Yes.
It's not a regular habit, but it's not a rare event either. It's 50-50.
As you go down the scale, maybe to 10 or 20%, you get to rarely or hardly ever.
I rarely watch TV. This means it's something you almost never do. It's an unusual activity for you.
And at the very bottom, absolute zero, you have never.
I never hit the snooze button, which is a bold claim for anyone to make.
A very bold claim. Okay, so that's the scale. But the really crucial part, the thing that so many learners struggle with, is where to put these words in a sentence.
This is so important for sounding natural. The main rule is that the adverb goes before the main verb.
Let's break that down. The structure is subject plus adverb plus verb. I always drink coffee. She usually walks home. The adverb comes right before the action it's describing.
If you say, I drink always coffee, it just sounds wrong. It's clunky. The rhythm is off.
It is. But because English loves to be complicated, there is one massive exception to this rule.
Of course there is. The verb to be.
Exactly. Am, is, are. This verb is special. It doesn't like having an adverb before it. So with to be, the rule flips. The adverb goes after the verb.
So the structure becomes subject plus verb to be plus adverb. For example, I am always tired, not I always am tired.
Right. Or he's usually on time. The adverb usually comes after is.
This is such a key point. Think about how often you describe your state or feelings in a routine. I am rarely stressed in the mornings. The adverb has to come after am.
And to bring it back to the very beginning of our chat this morning, the grammatically correct way for me to describe myself would be, I am never late.
Huh. Except for today, when you were definitely confused.
I was definitely very confused. Okay, so we've survived the workday. We've mastered our grammar. Now it's the evening. It's time to relax.
And the best word for that process is to unwind.
I love the metaphor in this word. Like a tightly wound spring from the stress of the day. And in the evening, you slowly let that tension go. You unwind.
It's the perfect word for de-stressing. After work, I like to unwind by listening to music.
And a more casual conversational way to say this is to chill out.
Or even just chill. I'm just going to chill on the sofa for a bit. It's very relaxed, very informal.
So you're chilling out, you're unwinding, and you start to think about food again.
Dinner.
You can make dinner or cook dinner, of course, but if the daily grind was particularly grinding,
You order takeout, which is food you buy from a restaurant but bring home to eat. A lifesaver on a Friday night.
totally. But after dinner, you're often faced with those little jobs that need doing around the house.
The chores.
Yeah.
CHORES. This is a great word. Chores are all those necessary, but let's be honest, boring tasks. Washing the dishes, taking out the trash, doing the laundry.
They are the domestic version of the daily grind. The jobs you have to do to keep things from falling apart.
And once the chores are done, or maybe successfully ignored for another day.
Then it's time for modern entertainment, which often means it's time to binge watch a show.
This term is so new, but so essential now. To binge something means to consume a lot of it in a short time.
Right. So binge watching isn't just watching one episode of a show. It's watching 5 or 6 episodes, one after another, until you can't keep your eyes open.
Streaming services have made it so easy. The next episode just starts automatically. It's designed to be addictive.
It really is. And it's a very different kind of relaxation from, say, reading a book, which requires a bit more active focus.
True. But eventually, the binge watching has to end. The day is over. It's time to go to sleep.
And we have a couple of great idioms for that. The classic one is hit the hay.
This one is so charming. It comes from a time when mattresses were literally just sacks stuffed with hay or dried grass.
So to hit the hay was to literally go lie down on your bed of hay. Now it's just a fun, informal way to say you're going to bed. Right, I'm exhausted, time to hit the hay.
A slightly more common, maybe less quirky alternative is the phrasal verb turn in.
I think I'm going to turn in for the night. It means the same thing, just a simple way to announce the end of your day.
And then you close your eyes, and the whole cycle starts all over again with the alarm clock.
The circle of life.
Okay, so we've broken it all down. Let's try to put it all together now. Let's see how this vocabulary works in a full description using our two archetypes.
Great idea. A role play. Let's start with the night owl's typical Tuesday. How would they describe their day using all this new language?
Okay, so the night owl usually wakes up when their alarm goes off at 7 a.m., but they always hit snooze, maybe 2 or 3 times.
Of course. So they don't actually get up until around 7:33.
Exactly. And they rarely eat breakfast. They need to kickstart their day with a huge black coffee.
And the commute must be a nightmare.
Oh, totally. They drive to work and are almost always stuck in traffic because it's the middle of rush hour. So they usually listen to a podcast to stay calm.
And lunch during the daily grind.
They sometimes pack a lunch, but honestly, they usually just eat out because they're too tired in the morning to prepare anything.
That sounds about right. And after the 9 to 5 is over,
They get home and they need to unwind immediately. They hardly ever exercise after work. They'd rather just chill out, maybe make a simple dinner.
what about chores?
They hate chores. They only do them when it's absolutely necessary. Their main evening activity is binge watching a new series for an hour or two.
Yeah.
Then, around 11:30 p.m., they finally hit the hay.
Okay, that is a perfect, vivid picture of a night owl's day. Now let's contrast that with the early bird.
Right. The early bird's day is much different. Their alarm goes off at 6 a.m., and they get up immediately. They never hit the snooze button.
Wow. And their kickstart.
Their kickstart is a trip to the gym or a morning run, followed by a healthy breakfast. They always pack a lunch to save money.
And they probably avoid the worst of rush hour.
They do. They often take the bus or subway and get to work before 8 a.m. They find the daily grind manageable because their most productive time is the morning.
And their evenings must be very different.
Completely. They unwind by reading a book or calling a family member. They rarely binge watch TV. They always do their chores right after dinner to get them out of the way.
And I bet they go to bed early.
Oh, yeah. They usually turn in before 10:30 p.m., ready to do it all again.
See, the language makes such a huge difference. It's not just a list of actions. It's a story about a lifestyle, an attitude.
That's the key takeaway here. Using this specific vocabulary makes your descriptions so much richer and more natural.
Well, we have covered so much today. Let's do a super quick recap of the most important terms.
Good idea. We started with identity, early bird versus night owl, then the alarm.
It goes off. And the crucial difference between wake up, which is mental, and get up, which is physical.
We talked about the commute, getting stuck in traffic during rush hour, and surviving the daily grind of a 9 to 5 job.
Then our grammar spotlight.
Yeah.
The frequency adverbs, like always, usually, sometimes, and never. And the big rule.
They go before the main verb, but after the verb to be.
And finally, the evening. How to unwind or chill out dealing with chores, the danger of binge watching.
And finally, how to hit the hay or turn in for the night.
That's a lot, but it's the core vocabulary for one of the most common conversation topics there is.
It really is. And so we have one final thought, a question just for you, our listener, to help you start using this language right away.
The provocative question of the day is this. Looking at your own habits, your own energy levels, are you truly an early bird or a night owl?
Think about it. Do you always hit the snooze button? Do you rarely get stuck in traffic? Use these new words to paint a picture of your own day.
The more you use them to describe your own life, the more natural they'll become.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the language of daily life.
We hope it helps you describe your routine with much more confidence.
Have a great day, and we hope your daily grind isn't too grindy.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.